Good afternoon. Thank you. As he said, my name is Karen Nightengale. I'm the past president of the Arlington branch NAACP and currently serve as the executive director. Our current president, Julius Spain, sends his regards as he's attending an important NAACP function and somewhere in Virginia today, wherever Julius is. On behalf of that, our entire leadership team, the Arlington branch NAACP, we would like to applaud Arlington County Board decision soon today to adopt a new community energy plan and make a commitment to reduce our emissions on a timeline that it actually acknowledges and appropriately responds to the challenge of avoiding catastrophic levels of climate change. Now you're trying to figure out what in the world is the NAACP talking about climate change. Well, I'm going to tell you. We're the oldest civil rights advocacy group in the past century. The NAACP recognized that the environmental policy and climate change is urgent, critical civil rights issues. On one hand, our current fossil fuel energy system has long represented a form of hidden violence against brown and black communities. Historically, people of color have been and continue to be disproportionately impacted by air and water pollution, largely in big cities, because of the dirty, dangerous infrastructures and waste pits of our fossil system. They've been imposed on different areas of our community. I'm here to tell you that as a phenomenon of environmental racism is alive and well in Virginia too. Many minorities, low-income people in Virginia live in close proximity of coal-fired power plants, and recently we witnessed the outrageous spectacle of our main state utility, Dominion Energy, using its political clout in Richmond, bought and paid for with energy bill money, to force the majority black community of Union Hill to accept a pollution-generated compressor station near their area for it. They had a fracked gas pipeline and a pipeline that the scientists say should never have been built. We need to be crystal clear about the consequences of people of color being forced to live in these pollution areas. The particles of air pollution can cause significant health problems, aggravate pre-existing conditions like asthma, lead to mortality from things such as cancer, strokes, heart disease. Some studies have even shown that it affects the underweight of young birth weight children, mental illness in children, and dementia in elderly people. It is critical for everyone. Given the existing racial inequalities in situations in the terms of where we live, our healthcare system, pollution is more than a notion. It is a civil rights issue. On the other hand, the level of climate change that fossil fuel system has already produced in the form of stronger storms and once-in-a-century floods, look at Texas, devastating multiple communities of color. This is due to the fact that many African Americans and communities of color have historically been shunned onto the least valued land in any given county or city. And the land is often low-lying areas. We have seen time again from North Carolina to Texas to Louisiana that when housing for people of color is destroyed due to sea level rise, stronger storm surges, and more extreme storms, it is often doesn't get rebuilt. They force people to relocate. And when violent storms rupture coal ash dumps or pig manure pits, you can bet that the poor and black and brown communities that lie near these areas bear the brunt of the consequences. Again, it is a civil rights issue. Now, these are the reasons the NAACP at the national and state level call for environmental and climate justice agenda, reduce harmful greenhouse gas emissions, advance energy efficiency and clean energy, strengthen community resilience and liability. Racial and social justice must be at the heart of any program to make a rapid transition to a renewable energy system. We must not only rebuild and revitalize our communities of color that have suffered from decades, but also include the decision-making and execution of multiple programs. This means that not only solar panels and home winterization for low-income families, which you see everywhere. They're trying to put solar panels everywhere in the communities, everyone. But what about jobs? Let's get the unions jobs, doing the work of installing these panels and weatherizing these homes. It means not only freedom from pollution, mold, lead paint, but access to health care. It means not only homes safe from flooding, but end of segregation. It means not only protection from the consequences of factories farming, but the restoration and restoring of Black family farming using economical, sustainable practices. Arlington County's new community energy plan is a step in the right direction, but the fight for environmental justice and energy is still on the go. There's still a lot to do. We ask you all come with us and let's continue to fight. Thank you very much.